Fancy a picnic and a show under the night skies at Fort Canning Park? Well, Singapore Repertory Theatre's Shakespeare in the Park is finally back after a 5-year hiatus with one of the Bard's most popular comedies, A Midsummer's Night's Dream. From the 3rd to the 28th of May, audiences can revel in an atmosphere of love, magic and mischief as the industrial landscape of Athens gives way to fairyland mayhem. It follows the intertwining stories of a fairy king and queen at war, 4 young lovers who have eloped to the forest, as well as a group of tradesmen rehearsing for a play. Here to tell us all about it, in the course of true love will be anything but smooth, Gaurav Kripalani. He is the artistic director of Singapore's Repertory Theatre. Welcome and congratulations.
Thank you for having me.
I was just wondering, after this huge hiatus, as we just mentioned, the SRT decided to come back to the park after 5 years with Midsummer's Night's Dream as its comeback. Why?
Well, during COVID, Shakespeare in the Park was the most requested show on our roster. We were inundated with requests from people to bring it back. And it's fun. I mean, it's exactly what you said. To me, it's the great leveler. You come in your shorts, t-shirt, flip-flops, you lay on the grass, you bring your makan, you can, whatever you want to drink. It is a BYOB event, although we will sell food and drink on site. And you just lay down and we will entertain you. And audiences have loved it. We did the first one in 1997. So we're delighted it's back.
I'm one of your former customers then, Gaurav, because I was there in 2013 when you did Othello. I remember that. It was a fantastic event. It's exactly what you said. Get out there, get your picnic basket, you know, have a wonderful, relaxing time with the family. Very informal and very not Shakespeare. I mean, when you think of Shakespeare, right, you think of formality, you think of the language, and that kind of can create some distance with people, but this is something that you've wanted to change at SRP, isn't it?
This is one of the key reasons for doing it. I mean, the end goal, of course, is just to make people love literature. I think with people studying literature less and less, I think this becomes more and more vital, and why we do it. But there's a reason these plays are performed 450 years later. They're still topical, they're still relevant, they still resonate. And the way we manage to do that is we make the setting contemporary. We're very purist. I'm a purist about language. The language is stunning. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's musical.
You can't touch Shakespeare.
I'm in love with it. But we make the setting contemporary. So we make sure that the setting, so for Othello that you saw, it was very much set in a wartime bunker.
That's right, yeah.
Where helicopter land in the park. It was spectacular. For Merchant of Venice, we had Shylock, instead of Shylock being an Indian Chettiar moneylender. You know, we change these things to make sure that young people, any audience that comes and sees it, relates to what's happening now, which is what we've done with Midsummer Night's Dream.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. You talked about not touching the words, but playing around with other aspects of the play. And Midsummer's Night's Dream is set in Athens, but the production is set in a post-industrial world, and you got your inspiration from Singapore's oil refinery landscape. Fairyland, oil refinery landscape. How do you plan to bring those two together?
Well, as you'll see on some of the footage you're airing, we have this spectacular set. It's 20 meters wide. That's double the proscenium of most large theaters. It's 13 meters high. It's got a 65-meter circumference. And in this particular setting, it's all pipes off the chimneys of the refinery. So you have a very industrial world. And then when the lovers escape to the forest, the entire thing transforms into this gorgeous, gorgeous forest. And part of the reason why we chose the play, besides the fact that it's great fun and everyone wants fun after COVID, they want to come and have a good time. So we chose Midsummer Night's Dream. But one of the key reasons is Titania, the Queen of the Fairies, has this spectacular monologue, which is all about climate change and sustainability. And Shakespeare wrote this 450 years ago. And you listen to what she's saying, and it's gorgeous. It's basically, if we don't look after our planet, there will be doom and gloom and hurricanes and tornadoes and earthquakes. And part of the refinery setting is we have a setting that pollutes the world. And when they go off to the forest and when they wake up from their dream and they come back into the real world, everything shifted a little. And you want to make the world a better place. And I think it's such a timely, beautiful message that audiences will love it.
Yeah, William Shakespeare often wove in ideas of nature into his writing.
Exactly.
From such a long time ago. So he was very much in tune with his surroundings, with his environment. You've got such a huge set. We saw some of the shots earlier on. It's in Incredibles. It looks so complex. You must have a wonderful creative team behind all of that. The size of the set, that you're bringing in water as an element as well. I mean, I do remember that. I remember that helicopter from 2013. It stunned everyone.
It's amazing, right?
And now you've got more stunning elements for the crowd this time round. How are you ensuring that, you know, you're going to carry through that idea of sustainability in this production?
Well, on a practical note, it is actually one of the things Singapore Repertory Theatre is very conscious of and we're trying to be better at. So we've actually engaged a company called NG Impact to help us measure our carbon footprint and to help us create a baseline which we can improve from. We have a long way to go. I mean, we're doing basic things, no single-use plastics, etc. in the park. We're encouraging all the audience members to recycle. But what we're trying to do is create this baseline report on how we can do each of our shows better. Now, especially with the park, you look at the sets, you look at the costumes, you know, we have to fly people in. It's how do we measure all these things so that when we bring the next one back, at least we know these are the things we need to do better. So we're actually very conscious about it. We're trying to work hard at it. We are at our infancy. We have a lot to learn, but at least I think we're heading in the right direction. And
as well, I mean, I was going to say that for those who do turn up on the night, and it's until May the 28th, of course, the performance. Yes. Make sure they bring their cups and plates. Everything has to be recyclable.
Please don't bring plastic to the park.
Don't bring plastic. Yeah.
But it's such a beautiful experience, and I've just literally come from the final dress rehearsal. We start tomorrow. It is. We had a few people in tonight to watch it, and at the end of the day,
yeah,
it's just great fun.
Well, you are certainly tempting us and inspiring us, and perhaps you two at home as well. We've been speaking with Gaurav Kripalani, Artistic Director of Singapore Repertory Theatre. Thank you very much.
Thank you.